And the blood on the pitch will continue here in the Rocket League OCE Championship, the last week of league play. That is number 5. My name is Asterix, joined by Yummy Cheese Man.
Count.
And you can actually. And there's Jake on the end of the desk there. They've swapped places, and for a very good reason. We have to change things up and change our mentality as we go into what is arguably the biggest matchup of the OCE Championship season.
If you've been watching OCE, then this is the match to watch. If you haven't seen anything else, if you want to judge the region, then you have to watch Tainted Minds vs Chiefs.
These two teams, by far the number 2 teams in Australia right now. Both teams undefeated. This is the game we've all been waiting for.
And it's a setup for them that's a rematch of old days, and it's the play for accolades as well. There is a lot on the line.
It's a pride game.
Yeah.
Tainted are really going to want to take Chiefs off their pedestal. Chiefs have been up there that entire time, and I think Tainted are feeling confident that they can finally take Chiefs off their top spot.
Yeah, I really feel like all of the Chiefs members have big heads, but they it is time for someone to try and take them down. Tainted Minds are undefeated. Chiefs, with that 3-0 as well, this is the chance for them to put that to Dignitas again. It's a chance to have a better season. Last season, when it was Darksided, which is basically Tainted Minds now, in that last series, they almost got 3-0'd and they had to reverse sweep.
Yeah, that was a sketchy series. I remember that one. We really wanted the accolades, and then we were like, oh my god, we actually have to win. We got to dig a bit deep here. I'm expecting a similar story. This is kind of a lot of the old Darksided roster.
Yeah.
Darksided definitely were the team towards the end of last season to really test Chiefs the hardest. However,
They had a lot of growth.
The playstyles really changed, though. They're not looking like that same team.
Well, with the addition of CJ, they are a very different team. They're so
Completely
aggressive.
different.
And if we look 2 seasons back, that was the playstyle that would take down the Chiefs. And I still think that is. I think fast, unpredictable, doing stupid stuff, basically, and making it so Chiefs are going, what are they doing? Why are they even there?
Especially against Legacy last week, we saw that playstyle come into effect, and for Legacy, it was too much. Now, Legacy are nothing like the Chiefs, but it's a good showing of how Tainted Minds like to play and how they can shut some teams out.
I want to point out, though, Chiefs have never lost to Tainted Minds. Like, ever. I know this is mostly Darksided.
Tainted Minds or Darksided?
Tainted Minds, but this Darksided looks like Tainted Minds.
Yeah.
This will be interesting now to see.
Is everyone following? Yeah.
It'll be now interesting to see the addition of Kami and how this changes, and if they still have that dominant record against a Tainted Minds play style.
Well, speaking of that, Kami left CJ. Obviously, he got a better offer for the Chiefs. That's if anyone's getting an offer to come and join the Chiefs, they're gonna take it no matter what. But that meant that CJ had to go through a lot of hullabaloo. He had to pick up a terrible analyst / player in the offseason, and then finally settled on Express and Shady.
Yeah.
But I think he really wanted to stay together with that trio.
Well, CJ and Kami, they were showing a lot of growth. They definitely had a very good performance at RLCS. It is a bit sad to see the team split after so much progress.
Can't believe how close they got to.
I don't remember.
To
let's not talk about that series.
You talk about the growth of this roster. I mean, they were together since the beginning. Kami and CJ coming through on the Pale Horse roster.
Yeah.
They were the equivalent of maybe Justice Esports right now.
Yeah.
We didn't really know much about them. You know, they've been in the scene, but they hadn't been in one of those top positions. Their rise to fame put them in the spotlight, and that's where they've stayed.
Well, Kami was always considered the best player as well. He was considered the MVP. He didn't have a great season last season.
Yeah, I'm not
but
sure.
now CJ, he's being like a big force in this season.
CJ, so Kami definitely was the best player for most of the end of last year and the start of first year. But then CJ really started to step up. Looked like an amazing player at RLCS. And he's really kept up this form this season. He's really been carrying Tainted Minds.
That's been really important for him, just to be able to continue being dominant and stay at the top, where the Kami did have some, quiet times.
As well as being a personality,
It is a bit harder. So Kami is fitting into Chiefs, right? Chiefs are looking like a very similar team, and Kami is going to have to make some individual sacrifices to facilitate that, right? CJ is the leader of his team. CJ is like, this is how we're playing, boys. Let's go. So you do expect CJ to prosper a bit more with that roster.
It is an
change.
interesting dichotomy in that, one went and tried to fit in with the playstyle, and one went and completely changed the playstyle.
That's the big feel of CJ though, isn't it? He's such a
confident
dominant person. Yeah, confidence is a good word
big
for it.
ego.
Yeah, let's just keep going. For Tainted Minds, this series becomes so much more interesting because of these change in play styles. Kami adjusting to the Chiefs, but it still feels like the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And now with Tainted Minds, the change around CJ, it also feels like Tainted Minds itself is a brand new roster with brand new possibilities.
They're completely different. They're looking like Tainted 2.0, even though they're mostly dark-sided. I've been amazed at how well Express is fitting into this new system, because the old dark-sided, it was so structured. They had really solid...
Too structured.
Honestly, too structured, but... Chiefs, we did struggle with them because they were so structured on defense. It was frustrating, and then they'd get these just like one-off goals and then win like with low-scoring games. Yeah. They're not going to have that edge. But again, like Kami's new as well, so I don't even know what to expect.
Now, Tainted Minds are hyper-aggressive. They have the most shots, 10.44 shots per game, the most goals per game, but they also concede almost double the amount of goals. It's hard to not concede double when Chiefs are only conceding 1.1 goals per game.
Chiefs' defense has been insane this season.
Well, it's ridiculous because they not only have the lowest shots against them with like 5.2 or something, but on top of that, they also still have a good amount of saves. They're not bottom on saves. So even when they are getting the very few shots on, they're clearing them out.
And you talk about how Tainted Minds push up so aggressively as well, just to take a back foot.
Yeah.
Is when you see Tainted Minds, they're all up at the midfield, and that clear ball goes through, and you're going, where's Tainted Minds' defense? What's going on here? So you're saying they're crazy, they're making silly moves, but that's also to a positive as well.
It is a positive.
Well, that's a real strength about Chiefs this season, right? They sit back, they don't let teams get out of defense, and they really control them. And then, whereas Tainted Minds are more explosive, they're more creative, they create chances out of nothing. So it really is a clash of styles here.
They've got these crazy passes. They follow each other up. They have a higher number of assists, but that is not because they're passing as much as they are ready for their teammates' touch.
They're going to have to be ready for this series here. We're about to get into it, Jake. Let's start with your prediction. Drippay and CJ going head-to-head here. The two leaders in charge. Who do you sit, or where do you sit?
I have to go with my boys, Chiefs.
I
have to.
Wow, what a surprise.
But it's... I was really sitting on it, actually. So I think even my bias might be come in, and it might be like my heart's with Chiefs. I'm not sure. I'm expecting a really close series, though.
All right, so Chiefs.
I'm expecting a close series as well. It is going to be tough. It could go either way. I think it is like a bit on Tainted Minds on just how well they can execute at the end. But I do have to give it to the Chiefs.
I sat here and I thought, if Chiefs can make that impact against Avant Gaming today, then I would... And I thought they did make an impact against Avant Gaming, but Tainted Minds have always been this team, even though, yes, it is old dark-sided. CJ has formed this new three-man roster with brand new potential, brand new possibilities. I'm sitting Tainted Minds for this one because I think the potential of an upset is very real. It will be a close one, 3-2.
It's definitely there.
But Tainted Minds could just take this one away. As we jump on in, this is our series to watch. It is essentially first versus second at the moment. Tainted Minds taking on the Chiefs.
The two best teams in OCE, the teams that are looking to potentially make it to RLCS, our favorites to get there from the beginning of the season. They've lived up to expectations, but who will be the best?
And can both return? Tainted Minds and Chiefs were expecting a fast game here. The Chiefs, that was blocked out by Torsos there. The shot missing, going wide. Tainted Minds getting back off that defense. The aggression continues with Shady in the pop-up. Expect to see faster play here, and no one slowing down.
And you can see how greedy Deep Drippay is looking. He's always getting into that play. Hopefully it doesn't pay off, or hopefully it pays off there. Don't double commit. But right now, Tainted Minds pushing on this aggression with a big chance from CJ. He gets the first goal.
And that passing from Tainted Minds, what we expected here. Look how fast it is, and look how Shady dilutes everyone.
And that bump right at the back to take Kami out of the play. They'd already taken out Torsos and Drippay with sheer pace. They get rid of the last player. Tainted Minds looking so aggressive.
And so far, the pace continues here. One goal. Not enough at the moment. CJ gets in around the corner, the bump down. You can see trying to beat them out to the ball. The intercepts here, the challenges from Tainted Minds really stepping up.
And Chiefs aren't ready for this pace. You're seeing them just be ever so slightly late to the ball compared to Tainted Minds. And that's just punishing them over and over again.
We're still on the attack here for Tainted. Shady goes up for the ball, doesn't find it. CJ actually going back here, firming up the defense is what we've said in previous weeks for Tainted Minds. 3:45, it's held strong for now. The miss there as Kami waiting for the ball. CJ finally saves it away, gets a big clear on top of it.
That's a big thing. CJ and Kami played together for over a year, and he saw right there exactly what play Kami wanted to do. He read it perfectly. That's going to help save out Tainted Minds in a few of these situations.
Found a demo as well. Saving out the ball from Chiefs might need to come through. Kami gets the demo onto Express. Drippay now with the dribble. Not going to get anywhere. CJ steals it away once again. Tainted Minds holding strong in the midfield, but Shady loses it over. A good touch there from Torsos. Express with yet another save, but Drippay isn't done yet. Kami's there on the side. CJ gets to it first. Now off the roof, the attack turns into a swift one here. Off that back wall, Express keeping the pace high as he clears it forward, waits for that bounce. Kami hasn't found the touch. A crucial moment there, almost missed by the Chiefs.
There's been a few big mistakes like that. First from Drippay, now from Kami, where they're just missing the ball in defense. And they haven't had the opportunity to really get into attack yet.
Feels like we're still talking about that rivalry of friendship though, CJ and Kami. Feels old seeing them both on the pitch here today. Shady will take that pass there from Express. This backboard defended well by CJ. Actually, no, the touch wasn't quite there. Waiting for the second one. That's towards net. Express with his second save. Kami will go over the ball. The pace continues to play out with that 1-0 lead. Chiefs still on the back foot.
Tainted Minds are doing really well in defense. You saw they're holding 2 people on the ground, 1 to challenge, 1 to save, and 1 person still on the backboard to deal with that high touch from Torsos.
Looks like it's being CJ at the moment who's playing that position back. CJ pops it back up, setting it forward. Shady and Express rotated around. Kami with the dribble. Ends up kind of winning that one over. CJ leaves it for Express all the way up the field. The communication from Tainted Minds feels like it's on point today as well. Second touch not found there. Torsos has an opportunity but goes wide.
That was rough. Express, he was caught out. He had to pre-jump, and if Torsos found the right angle, it would have got past him.
Still pushing forward. Chiefs an opportunity still here. Tainted Minds on that defense. The pop down. There it is. The shot. It's to Kami.
You saw this coming. It took 10 or 15 seconds to really set up, but CJ had no boost. Torsos gets it center. Express has to wait for the shot there. He has to expect that that's going on target, and Kami knows that.
Kami takes advantage of that. 1-1, 1 minute 30 remaining. The Chiefs finally equalize, but what a tough road to get here, and it is only game 1.
For Tainted Minds, they have to be winning this early. They can't let Chiefs get the chance to warm into this series. They felt slow, they felt like they've made some mistakes, and that is when you need to punish them.
I asked Jake about Chiefs game 1. Partially agreed with me there, so we'll see what the other games have in store. But for now, Torsos off the roof. He'll get that reset.
Not enough boost, though.
CJ will end up clearing it away. Kami comes in with the intercept. This is an opportunity for Tainted Minds. Drippay has to go up on that backboard. He'll divert it away. Express not really in the right position. Shady with a direct shot on net. CJ only just pops it up onto the backboard. Express goes up to help it as well.
That's such a good touch by Express. CJ was in desperation mode, and he talked with Express, knew exactly what was happening, and Express actually managed to get the reverse angle forward to prevent any pressure.
Working as that 3-man unit. Drippay goes high though in the defense. Misses out one more time, but the pinch back from Torsos to
Kami had rotated all the way back. He looked for that back boost, expressing as such, because that is Express's normal favorite maneuver, to go all the way back when he's on attack.
Taking one out of the book here of Tainted Minds in front of net. The miss there again. Drippay is right in front of it. He'll clear it away. Is the defense covered? I don't think so. Kami's there with Drippay, but Shady's back in time.
I think Kami going up there actually took Drippay out of the game. He had the chance, he had the time, but Drippay waited until Kami pulled out.
10 seconds left remaining. A chance, from Tainted Minds to push on that attack, but Chiefs in front of net again. Not a good place. Torsos is there. The demo comes into Kami, and that may have saved the day.
The first half was all Tainted Minds, but now Chiefs come into this overtime with momentum. Can they take this first game?
And this does not disappoint. We've been waiting all season long for this series, and Tainted Minds and Chiefs take us to an overtime in game 1.
No pressure. Chiefs are not pushing up. They're staying further back. They're letting Tainted Minds have the play, but every now and again that's preventing them from getting that 1-2 pass.
They'll finally get that big clear, but the pass not there just yet. Kami on the right wing sets it up, and Drippay's hanging back. Clear responded by Tainted Minds. That boomer set up by Torsos, the backboard, not really covered until CJ gets up there. Kami comes back in off the corner. The second touch kind of does him a bit of a doozy there.
CJ's not getting the right clears. He's hitting them to the corner to where none of his teammates are, and it's allowing Chiefs to keep pressure in those situations.
See if Chiefs can break through. CJ needs to be hitting that properly. The moment is now. CJ again leaves the ball. Drippe gets a free shot at net, but Shady still saves it. Kami off the corner, the angle's right, but Express with the right touch once again.
Drippe just keeps pushing this in. He's so good in the midfield. He staunches out 50-50s and keeps it away from his opponents. He's being massive in this game where we are in overtime.
1 minute into it, in fact. Shady in the corner. Express will have to recover this ball. Touched there by Chiefs. Still
Kami's
on
the
defense.
one making those defensive mistakes too.
Kami setting up the shot nicely, but Express save your medal there off the backboard. Torsos comes back in. Two members committed up. Kami has also gone forward. He doesn't have boost. This is Tainted Minds, but Drippe's back in time.
Chiefs are so good at the solo defense. Any time that you see it, a 3v1, you can still expect that Chiefs will be able to defend it out.
Well, they're still stuck in this set defense. The boost picked up by Kami. Steal away almost there by Shady. Shot after shot coming out here in this overtime. CJ hangs back and Tainted Minds looking to reset now as Chiefs have their way.
Should be a clear, but Kami needed to center that off. The demo comes through as well. No passes out from the Chiefs. That's how they were scoring in the last series.
No, close call there from Drippe. A little bit to the left, Tainted Minds have done. And CJ comes in for the contest. Once again, loses it over to Kami. Off that corner, this is an opportunity, but Torsos doesn't find the right height on the ball. Drippe takes a direct shot on neck. Shady is all the way up. CJ diverts it away from Kami. He's got enough boost to play with. Runs out, drops the ball down, and Chiefs again, their opportunity is there, but it's Express always saving the day.
You can tell how important this series is by how much they're staying back, but what a pass across to Torsos, the front corner play.
Right through the Illuminati triangle there, directly on net. And it was Kami again with the setup.
The mistake out from Tainted Minds, and you see it's a soft clear. They're in that pressure moment, and they're like, oh no, we've made a mistake, get back to net. But the fact that Torsos was able to get to that pass, it was such a good read. Lots of synergy between Kami and Torsos right at the end there. And even if Kami's not having the best day so far in defense, that makes up for it.
But it's still what Kami does best, which is set up his plays. It was the
Every
same on
time.
Tainted Minds, the same on Chiefs.
The same against Avant. He had like 3 or 4 passes. They're the infields. He's the one who kind of says, okay, I need to pass it to my teammates. I know that they can score. And it just works out perfectly.
And Kami's work coming through here, yes, may not be the best, but still for Chiefs, 2-1. A very close game, number 1 at that.
I really liked how even it was in the overtime. You saw the first half of the game. It was all about Tainted Minds holding the pressure. Chiefs, even though they got into attack a couple of times, they never had any opportunities. A few floppy wet fish hit towards the net, but they were very easily saved. And then the second half, it was the opposite story. Overtime, they both got a lot more defensive and tried to get around each other. Fortunately for Tainted Minds, I was saying that they need to win this first game. And they're not. They need to take that. They need to get that advantage early.
And for Tainted Minds, starting out game number 1 so strong. If you have just joined us from the States or from across the world, between the midst of one of the biggest series in the OCE Championships, our two front runners are on the pitch right now. Chiefs have just scored the first game in this best-of-5 series. Tainted Minds want to fight back here. These are our two teams that have been to RLCS before, and they're looking to set themselves up again.
Can Tainted Minds upset the Kings? Can they bring this back and take the series win that they so desperately were close to last season? It's all up to this game.
One moment has changed game number 1. Let's see if the same case in game number 2. Fast play here. The Chiefs trying to push on down corner Tainted Minds.
Going 2-0 down would be devastating for Tainted Minds. So hard to reverse sweep Chiefs. In fact, I don't even think it's happened in OCE history.
We'll see if things can change from now on. The Chiefs trying to stamp this series as their own. Torsos off the backboard. He's run out of boost. Won't be able to find some for some time. CJ over the top. Will save that ball away, but Tainted Minds, good opportunity arises. They steal the ball once more. That's Shady. Drippe has run out of boost once again. Express coming in around the side. Chiefs on the defense.
And it's the team with the most shots. Tainted Minds up against the team with the least shots against. And you're seeing it come through. Tainted Minds are able to get more than most other teams, but not as much as they need to be able to execute and finish off the goal.
Tainted Minds on that point. Good diversion there away as Chiefs trying to set up that striker once more in Drippe. Chiefs coming in off the wall. Tainted Minds opportunity. The clear comes through. Torsos off that backboard. And we go over to Drippe. CJ commits up for it as well. Express and Shady hanging back here. Ball touched up. Kami bumped mid-air. That'll give time for Express. The Tainted Minds do not want to fall even further behind. The shot on net once again. An easy save there from Drippe. Shady comes forward, trying to get that tempo back up where it was. The steal through. This is Tainted Minds' ball, but CJ wasn't up.
That's the unpredictable play you expect out of Tainted Minds, but even CJ didn't expect that 50 to go so well.
Can he make up for it right now
CJ,
in front of the net?
no.
The double touchdown is denied. Tainted Minds, that was a close call. 3 minutes left remaining. And that was their opportunity. That was their moment to take. And the Chiefs survived by a threat.
Just hanging on. Chiefs Esports and Tainted Minds. This couldn't be any closer.
Tainted Minds again pushing forward. The defense comes through. Now this is the moment where Chiefs are able to strike. Getting through Express and Shady. Torsos is there. Turns out to be a bit of a fake. In front of net, Kami can't find the angle right. Shady just has to get the ball clear. Express to help. CJ won't find the third touch. Can they find anything more here? The question of the Chiefs, if they can make this into a 2-0 nil-all. CJ says no.
Tainted Minds take the lead, and they're just getting these 1-2 plays against the corner, beating out someone from the Chiefs. Drippe misses that off the wall, and it sends all of Chiefs scrambling for that one. Kami not quite getting the right flip.
We saw this in game one, Yummy Cheese Man. We saw the impact Tainted Minds have on in the earlier portion. There's 2 minutes left remaining, and the Chiefs fought back so valiantly in that game one. Tainted Minds trying to shut them up and move forward to an equal game 3.
But when you have Tainted Minds getting these quick 1-2s, it puts Chiefs into these positions where they have to rush for the ball. They end up getting the misses that you're not expecting from them, and they're not quite keeping up with the pace.
Tainted Minds trying to match that set. And for Chiefs, the attack's still there, steal away. Drippe is still on this wall.
How does that work out so well? Drippe just recovering on the wall, and his teammate had hit it straight towards him at the same time.
Ray comes back up. Kami tries to recover the play. Torsos now run out of boost as well. Kami's there. This is an opportunity again for Tainted Minds. CJ reads the bounce, but it's back over to Shady. Chiefs trying to strangle them in their own side of the field. The defense continues here as Drippe, again, the setup's there. The bouncer out of the corner of the post. It'll be Drippe and Torsos who both have shots, but none go in.
Drippe, he's the last man back, and he's been that man multiple times. But they need to find those defensive passes that they're used to get onto attack.
Ball continues to be on the attack here for Chiefs. 1 minute left remaining. The bounce off the wall. The touch through the intercept not found there by Drippe. He'll stick in net for a second. Torsos not going to commit up for that ball either. 50 seconds remaining. And it's Chiefs stuck on the attack. Right where they want to be, but not finding anything just yet. Drippe doesn't get the touch towards net, and now it's just back up to the Chiefs to see what they can do.
They need to find an infield. They can't keep going to this backboard because Tainted Minds are so ready for the backboard defense every single time.
It'll be Shady and Express who are stuck down this side of the field. The backboard's strong. Chiefs not getting creative just yet. Torsos misses the ball. It's up to Kami to recover. 20 seconds left remaining. CJ with a slow Doppler pass there. Down to his team member. 15 seconds remaining. Torsos comes back in. See how aggressive the Chiefs are being. Drippe comes in.
Oh.
The angle was nice. The second touch will be necessary. And Torsos to finish it off.
It was a big save, but it wasn't enough. Drippe finding the best angle here, but Torsos following this up perfectly. He read how the clear would go. He knew it wasn't going to pinch out. Chiefs tie it up with 8 seconds left.
1-1. 8 seconds. And this overtime doesn't exist again. This is Express's time. He's out of boost. There's Shady once more. The final member is CJ. Chiefs have actually kept this one up, but stolen away brings us to yet another overtime.
Another game, another OT, and Chiefs and Tainted Minds are keeping this so close. I think it just comes down to who makes the most mistakes.
Well, for Tainted Minds, their overtime before did not reap the rewards. And now for Chiefs, after that last goal with 8 seconds remaining, you got to feel for Tainted Minds, see if they can recover it back. Shady going up for the ball. 2 members have gone forward. There's pace on this one as well. It's Drippe from the right wing. A miss there almost by Express. Drippe will sweep across net. Kami steals it through. It'll be Shady who has to wait patiently, but a couple of good opportunities by Chiefs.
Drippay just taking it by himself all the way up the pitch, able to just take it past the Tainted Minds defense alone. And that's what they're going to have to do if they can't get these defensive passes going.
Looking for more backboard pressure. Chiefs instantly get cleared on. It's Express with a shot set up for Shady, and Tainted Minds equalise.
The demo into the infield pass. We've been waiting for it. Tainted Minds hadn't had the time to get these attacks going, and this time they see Torsos on the back. They empty the net. 2-1, and a tied series now between Tainted and Chiefs.
One goal has changed everything. I said it at the start. One goal changes this series, changes these games. Now 1 apiece. Tainted Minds looking to go the distance.
And they've got 8 shots to 2 from the Chiefs. Chiefs have been struggling to get out of their defense with those clears. And when they are getting out of defense, they're having to push it up 1 man, 2 man, getting it forward. But by doing that, they're using all of their boost. They've got nothing left to get anything solid on attack. And they're not getting those infields. So all of a sudden, Tainted Minds are shutting them down in their own defensive half. And that's going to continue getting worse and worse as Tainted Minds pick up the pace.
And for Chiefs, really, you expect them to come into this series able to match Tainted Minds, but there's the creativity from Tainted Minds that you just don't expect. The demo into the infield pass is something that seems so simple, but it's Tainted Minds always thinking that step ahead.
But it was the one piece of creativity that happened during the series. You know, it's not been a very Tainted Minds-esque series compared to the rest of league play, where they're just going for ridiculous stuff. They're following it up. They're getting the passes that you'd never expect. And the 2 times that they've gone creative, they've scored goals. So they need to do that a little bit more.
But also with Tainted Minds, they feel quite reserved, not in a bad way. It feels like it's more calculated. Their defense
so important
as well.
Because throughout the season, their defense hasn't been tested. And now it has, and it's showing that it's really strong in that midfield. They're shutting him down, and Chiefs aren't warmed up to this pace. They're not matching Tainted Minds in their defensive half, and it's making them miss the ball just from playing too fast.
But you can see there's respect from each and every side here in this series. 1 apiece, and the respect should be held here in game number 3.
Another random miss from Kami, and he needs the one who needs to step up right now for the Chiefs.
CJ, good defense though, and although the Chiefs have a shot on net, maybe it continues forward. Kami directly towards that center where CJ is. Shady coming in fast off this corner, read well by Torsos. He'll try and carry the ball down, but he's run out of boost. There's demo onto Kami. Express steals it away, but the direction needs to be here from Shady. Unfortunately, Torsos is back.
And they're still in their defense, and they're still missing the ball. Tainted Minds just piling on the pressure, making the nerves happen for Chiefs.
Ball directly towards net this time. CJ can't find the defense, and Chiefs break through.
Drippay feels like the one who's playing fast, and he does it right here. Gets the first touch over. CJ, such an awkward spot.
Yeah.
And eventually he sees Drippay go up. He's like, oh, I have to go. I have to try and block. But he is not quick enough.
Such a struggle for CJ there, and a struggle for Tainted Minds as they drop one. And the Chiefs onto a good start here, but that's what you call a kickoff goal worthy of Tainted Minds.
That's painful. You don't normally see Chiefs get kickoff goal against. In fact, you don't normally see anyone, but Torsos was cheating so close. Drippay was playing aggressive in that back corner as well. That is painful, and Tainted Minds, they're looking like they could upset the Kings right now.
As creative as ever, even if it is just a worthy kickoff goal. 1 apiece, and the Kings. Could Tainted Minds triumph over them is the big question. Express has missed that one, and Drippay goes underneath.
Drippay's so staunch. Look at this, 50. And Kami's setting them up again, but just finding the spot that Express was hitting it to. He could have gone forward. He knew he was going to hit it to the left and just completely sandwiched that in.
As soon as Chiefs fall behind, they find themselves back up. As soon as they equalise, they're all the way back where they should be.
And even though they were playing a bit greedy before and Drippay was going for a lot of double commits, it's part of what's making him so fast. He's just so ready to go, and he's beating out the defenders.
It's why Drippay is sitting strong for many of these accolades. It's why Drippay right now is one of the best players in OCE, if not the best, some would say. For Tainted Minds going up against this player, it was about CJ, his story here today. Is he playing worthy of Tainted Minds? 2-1. They're struggling here in game 3.
It was a really tough pass to get. He was trying to get that into center, and that is what caused the issue. But Torsos, you don't expect him to miss those ever.
No, but Chiefs still back on that defense. See if Torsos actually finally finds his way through. Kami there to receive and give over to Drippe. Now off the wall, Express. An easy read, but Torsos is coming back in. Kami waiting at the rear. Drippe needs to recover the boost, so Tainted Minds will find their clear.
Drippe is just hanging all the way back, looking for boost. The pass across as well to Torsos, but that should have hit the roof by all means. And Torsos thought the same, but it doesn't matter. The quick turnaround, and once again, it's Kami to Drippe.
It's a quick 1-2. Intercepted well by Kami.
Look at the trust that Drippe has in Kami. He knows that he's going to win that race. He knows he's going to go for the pass. And at the same time, Torsos is still running back in case anything bad happens.
Chiefs are 3-1, and Torsos making impact here in this game, number 3.
And Tainted Minds, the only goal they've scored this game is from a kickoff goal.
And almost a big wide open net just then. CJ, that was his opportunity once more. Express is coming in, but there's no power on that ball. Gives Torsos the opportunity to just take it all the way down. CJ, Shady on the defense. Drippe's popped it up. Creativity alone from Chiefs as Drippe gets demoed.
In the battle of the accolades, in the battle for Golden Striker and for Clutch Playmaker, Chiefs is really pulling ahead. Drippe, I think, will secure it with this game unless it's a big wash for Tainted Minds coming into Game 3 or the end of this one.
We're going to find out. There's 2 minutes left remaining. There's 2 goals needed here by Tainted Minds to equalize. Each and every game has been a 1-goal difference, but Chiefs want to shut that up right here. CJ will not get it past Drippe, but Tainted Minds aren't done with the play. Torsos with the pass, Drippe with the light touch, ends up working out. It'll be CJ who has to clear it wide. Drippe, Torsos there. The pass good again. Tainted Minds directly on net.
But the pass was so far in their defensive half that there was never going to be a goal. There was so much time for Chiefs to just wait for the shot, save it out, and potentially take possession of their own.
See if Tainted Minds can keep it down here, though. Talk about possession, and Tainted Minds looking to control that right here, but Drippe was a nice infield pass. No one to receive it. Means that Chiefs are back on this defense. And Tainted Minds are getting some demos across the map. It's Kami from CJ. But Tainted Minds just aren't able to do anything with the ball.
Something you just see CJ do is going for the opponent's boost after he goes for a touch, and that's stopping Chiefs from having as much boost in defense as they normally have.
Well, for Tainted Minds, denying that as much as possible. Chiefs, a minute left remaining to hold this lead. Off the wall, the bump comes through. This is Shady with the pass, but Express is already hanging back. They've got time here, and the Chiefs, the slower this gets, the more that you feel that Tainted Minds are going to struggle to adapt.
And Shady playing very wide. They're looking for these long cross-field passes, but that's not what they're good at. That's not how they score the goals. It's the short passes in front of the opponent's nets that really scores them every single one of their goals throughout the season.
Can they get there again? At the moment, ball pinching towards net. CJ will lob it in off that backboard. The demo was good, but Chiefs might find something. Drippe's denied by Shady. Again from this corner, it seems like the ball's stuck there for the Chiefs, but still with that 2-goal lead, that's all they're going to need. Time is on their side. And they're running out of it for Tainted Minds.
Such a good 50-50 by Torsos to recover and get up to it. Forced the defense to actually have to hit it out, get the clear, and Chiefs were hanging back waiting for it. They should take this one out. 7 seconds left, and they're just buying time.
And for Chiefs, this is what they wanted, to put themselves on match point. Tainted Minds on the verge of losing 3-1. Does the story continue? Are Tainted Minds destined to be second here? Or can they finally bring us to a Game 5 and try and challenge the Chiefs?
It's such a tough break, but what a turnaround for this team. They end up dropping Dumbo. They pick up CJ, who completely changes their play style. And normally when that happens, you're going to think they're going to struggle for a few weeks until they can figure it out. But they figured it out from the get-go. They're playing very well, and they just need to put Chiefs back in that defense and hold them there once again.
Because with Tainted Minds, a bit of storytelling for you folks out there, is Tainted Minds at the start of the season, they had a pretty good run. Like we said, Tainted Minds are pushing so far up, they're so aggressively in these games. It's week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not 5, but they were so far forward, making some mistakes. Now against the Chiefs, that respect is there.
Yeah, it's a completely different team to some degree.
Completely different, yeah.
They're playing further back, they're letting a bit more play, and they're not going crazy forward. And their defense has been pretty impressive because of that. but their attack is just not good enough to get past the Chiefs.
Against the Chiefs, their defense, some of the best defense in the OCE Championship, or the best.
Yeah, and let's remind people that Kami has not been playing great in these games. In defense, he's been immaculate in the midfield. He's got some of the best passes this series.
Absolutely.
And yet in defense, he just keeps going, oh, see you, ball. I forgot that I was meant to hit you. And now he's in this spot where he's a liability in defense, but it doesn't matter because he's making up for any goals that go through.
And Drippe and Torsos, their defense is ironclad anyway. So at the moment for Chiefs, they're feeling pretty confident. That was the biggest game there for the Chiefs as well, with such a dominant goal lead. Now we can see if they can do it again. Game number 4 on match point, and the Chiefs want to close this one out.
Drippe trying to put on pressure with that shot, but he needed to hit that on target. And even still, these passes from Tainted Minds are just coming from the midfield. There's no threat of a shot or a goal coming from there.
Game 2, Tainted Minds. Game 1, Tainted Minds as well. There were some really beautiful plays that were shining through, but Game 3 was more of a shutout for Chiefs. Now pushing towards that net. That's Torsos with the shot, but it won't go directly on net. It's a pass to Drippe. The carry up from Express.
So clever, so clutch from Express. He had to just get underneath it and predict the shot, and he gets there just at the right time.
A good read by CJ. CJ Express sits back in net, ready for Drippe. He'll find the shot, but not the goal. Clear again from Tainted Minds. It'll be Torsos who receives the pass back. Excuse me. Kami and Torsos off this left wing. Opportunity arises once again with Drippe. No pace on it. Works out for Tainted Minds. Kami still back with a big clear.
This is the moment that they can hit the backboard because they're starting, or Tainted Minds are starting to just look at that net. Okay, Shady.
All right, well, good time to see Shady.
This is the best 2 teams in OCE. You do not expect that.
You do not. So Shady will recover himself. A good save once again from CJ. That's a big clear. If Express can get past Torsos, which he doesn't, would have found something there. Tainted Minds back into the swing of things. It'll be Kami off this wing. CJ to steal the ball away. It's a good infield, but it doesn't go there. It goes to Torsos instead. And
he's so quick up to that. He was just underneath the ball, but still beats out the competition. Chiefs Esports, they've dropped a game. That's their 2nd game of the season they're dropped, looking to really secure this first seed.
See if they can hold on. A 3-1 would be ideal now for the Chiefs, but Tainted Minds on the attack. That feel like they've got a breath of fresh air in this game 4, setting themselves up. Some interesting passes. Drippe actually doesn't have any boost.
None of the Chiefs do.
CJ comes back up for the ball. It's Shady now, ready to drop down in that goal square, but a big clear from the Chiefs once again. Kami comes through, trying to push on that attack, set up the Chiefs, as he's done so well before. The block by CJ. He's going to run away with the ball. Can he get the pass across? Kami's there from the corner. Express comes in to collide. But that's about it.
That was good defending from Kami too. He knew both of his teammates weren't there, so he took it slow, waited for CJ to get the shot, and that gave his team time to get back. This might just roll in. No, just saved out.
The bump there, I think it was from CJ pushing over the defensive Chiefs. Tainted Minds getting creative once again with their plays. This time Kami coming through for the shot.
It's the aggression that gets to them. They are the highest demoing team in the top 6. And that is what is going to be paying off if they can open up the net against the Chiefs.
We saw it in the last game. It didn't make much of a difference. The Chiefs held strong on their defense. This time, not as many demos, looking more at the bumps, the colliding of 2 cars. 2 cars, 2 minutes. Chiefs in front of that net once again, and those 2 cars will manage to hold the defense there of Tainted Minds. But Chiefs trying to push through. Kami comes back in off that corner, but the sweep away by CJ might be enough.
And there's no clears possible. Tainted Minds were low on boost and just kept hitting it to the corner. It's the first chance of them to do it, but it's straight back into their half.
A minute 30 remaining, Yummy. The intercept there from Drippe, that's dropping down. Express gets a touch against the backboard all the way out, but Torsos will come through. Express gets bumped out, I think, by CJ. Trying to get back into the net. And Tainted Minds, they are holding on, but for how long?
It seems so dire, and Express just has to run back for boost. That's a clever play by CJ just to give his team time, staying behind the ball and guaranteeing a 50-50.
They're not letting the infield passes happen, though, on the side of the Chiefs. The defense strong there by Torsos. clever plays are great, but for the Chiefs, these passes, yep, Kami not there in time.
It was just a little too far forward from Drippe, a little too much spice. It could have been the game decider just there, but you can see how important it is to have crisp execution.
It feels like a golden goal moment here, and for Tainted Minds, that demo may have opened it up. Shady comes through, but it doesn't look like he has enough boost to keep up with Torsos. Express has run out as well. Tainted Minds have to push back onto this defense and hope that the Chiefs don't get a beautiful infield pass off like that.
That's a big save by Shady as well. He had to read the play. He figured out exactly where Torsos was going to hit it because he needed to get up before the ball was even hit.
And they're just doing it again, Yummy. Chiefs right back in front of that net. Drippe brings it to a standstill. Shady, get it out of there.
Such a tight angle. He had to get it between the defender and the post, and it was just that 1 degree off.
But they're stuck on the defense here. Express manages to only just get up. Kami will get demoed, but it's in front of the goal square. That's a miss by Tainted Minds. No one expected it from CJ, so the Chiefs won't come charging in. But with 3 seconds remaining, Tainted in front of that net. They'll hit the corner, it'll drop down, and overtime's where we belong.
The third overtime of the series. Chiefs and Tainted Minds are so close. And remember, Chiefs came 5th in the last World Championship. Tainted Minds were close to coming 7th. They are proving that they could do even better this year.
Well, they have a net to play with. CJ's coming in red hot. The bouncer's there. Shady in front of net. This could be Tainted Minds, but Chiefs again, their defense ironclad as Express tries to find the angle, but Torsos again says no.
It's a battle of defense. Who can hold out the longest? Who can just do the most to just stay in this game? And for Tainted Minds, that has to be nerve-wracking. They're the ones about to lose the series if they concede.
Trying to pop the ball up. They've run out of boost, so Tainted Minds all the way back to their side of the field. Shady will clear it up. It's CJ up for the ball. Directs it to the right. It's ready for Shady. Now for Express. The goal there. And Tainted Minds bring us to a game 5.
That's the touch from Shady. That sick touch to get this past the defender. He puts it backwards, away from them, which means that Tainted Minds are taking this to game 5.
Look, I said it'd be close either way. I think we all did. I said Tainted Minds. Never before have I thought I would get close to getting right. But at the moment, Tainted Minds revitalized in that game 4.
They're getting a lot of opportunities, but it was that big couple of saves from Express.
Yeah.
Remember that Chiefs had the opportunity. They took these big strikes. They had that epic infield. And I think it was Shady the first time, then Express, who saved it out and kept them in this game, took them to overtime, and they clutched it out.
But for the Chiefs, there's moments where you're going, right, and this is their time to shine. There's some good infield passes once again. Kami on the other end, as to opposed to making them this time. And this is the Chiefs that are still playing well.
Yeah, Kami felt a lot better in that game on defense. In fact, their defense is starting to clean itself up. And that's kind of why it went into a 0-0 overtime. But they need to start getting a few more opportunities because it was just those 1 or 2 that really felt they could go their way. And it becomes a bit of a game of RNG on who can get just that perfect touch like we saw right at the end.
The ability to reset from Tainted Minds has to be propped, though. From Game 3, which was a 4-1, which was just such a dominant stance by Chiefs, now into a 1-0 overtime win by Tainted Minds. That is not improvement. That downgrades a little bit.
Considering this is the dark-sided from last season that did take Chiefs to Game 5 in the last week of league play then, this is a repeat of that. But Tainted Minds still have every chance to win. And if they do, they're in some ways proving that they are or could be the best team in OCE right now.
This defines it. At the moment, Tainted Minds want to triumph the Chiefs. They want to take that top spot and set themselves up towards RLCS. Game number 5 here, and the best series is not disappointing. In fact, it feels like it's only heating up.
It's the beginning of the end. It all comes down to one game and a crucial grudge match between these two with a big demo to open it up for Shady.
This is the Tainted Minds that can triumph the Chiefs. CJ as well has to be propped for carrying that ball, but Tainted Minds, their creativity will not be the death of them.
A massive start with 2 big bumps and Tainted Minds looking to take down Chiefs.
Chiefs in a difficult position, but off the kickoff, Kami has found his room. Shady will save it away. Can they keep on the defense? That is Chiefs pushing them to that point. Shady with a pop-up. Drippe off the wall. It'll be CJ with the wide pass. It'll be Torsos coming in as well. No boost there. Tainted Mind still trying to stay on this attack. Express can't carry it through. Both members have run out of boost. That'll be the attack done for TM.
Tainted Minds are willing to hit this across to the side. They just want to beat Chiefs to the ball, get it past the player, and try and take them out of the game.
Been a demo onto Torsos. That stops the attack once again. Can Tainted Minds hold this lead? We've had very low-scoring games. Apart from that third game there, the shot there by CJ, Drippay blocks it away. The defense still strong as you'd expect out of Chiefs.
When you're in this position, it's just like an overtime for the rest of the series. You're suddenly in Game 5. You cannot afford a single mistake, and both of the teams playing just like they were in the last overtime.
Both teams haven't dropped the series. Shady! The read on that from Tainted Minds.
He just comes out of nowhere as well. Express, they expected him to get a big touch here. He did not, but Shady was ready for that play, and Kami was not.
I've never been more caught off by a goal, Yummy Cheese, man. But Tainted Minds, 2-0 up, and Shady coming in with the style point.
Fast and unpredictable. It's how we said to beat the Chiefs, and they're executing it perfectly. 2-0 now in Game 5. It's a big comeback required from the Chiefs.
The Chiefs are on the attack. They need to make something happen. It's Kami who comes in from the right wing. They can't find anything on this play. They recover and set up for Torsos, but Express has been such a good goalkeeper here in this series. Tainted Minds working together, this cohesive unit, looking to adapt and overcome the Chiefs with 3 minutes left remaining.
Even in the midfield, they're just getting demos. They're frustrating the Chiefs. They hate when Tainted Minds or any of their opponents just demo you for no reason, but it's also setting up these 3v2 defenses for Tainted Minds.
Well, now that all three members are back up, they try and transition it into the attack, but CJ getting some massive clears here. Another demo onto Torsos. Tainted Minds are still up here. They'll read the bounce and leave it to Shady. Kami comes back in. Torsos doesn't get the ball either. Two members have gone forward for this attack, but Shady has popped it over the top. Express gets a revenge demo from Torsos, but now for Tainted Minds, they're still on attack. This hasn't halted them whatsoever.
This is disgusting. The amount of times Tainted Minds is just going for the demo, going for the bump, just getting in the way of the Chiefs, and it's really disrupting their play. That's a big mistake. Chiefs! Double commit, they let that through. Tainted Minds about to take down the King.
They're scrambling. The Chiefs don't know what to do here. And Tainted Minds 3-0, making this dream a reality.
They've put them on the back foot. They've made them scared. They've made them have to go for everything. And that's leading to a double commit. Tainted Minds. It's going to be so hard for Chiefs to come back.
We said this was going to be a close game, but in Game 5, Tainted Minds are making it look like an absolute wash here. 2 minutes left remaining. CJ will pop that ball, essentially saving it away from that net. And Chiefs, they're running out of time. This upset could make history.
Tainted Minds, they could be the second OCE team to go a season undefeated. Again, Chiefs had lost one single game before today, and now they might be losing their first series.
The pass is set up once again. Tainted Minds in front of net, staying on the attack, but that's a big miss. That's going towards net. Almost an own goal set up there with Drippay.
Drippay starting to bring it back. They rush it down. They get the clear. Express with a questionable touch at best. And that is the Chiefs. They're 2 goals away. This is very doable.
Okay, Tainted Mind, you held the lead, you held control. Now, Chiefs, when you turn your back on this team, they always fight back. They're always lurking in the shadows. 1 minute 30 remaining, and the Chiefs on the defense once again. Tainted Minds looking to strike through. That backboard hit up nicely, but CJ not in position. It'll be Shady who has to clear it back around and hope that Chiefs can't find the sink through.
Kami not looking for those passes, just trying to get it forward and out of the defense. And that's fine, but it's not going to lead to any goals, and they have to take those risks.
Pace continuing to flow here. Tainted Minds coming in. That backboard hit hard. The bouncer there. Express reads it nicely, stops it midway in that center field. Express comes back in, ready to challenge the ball from the corner. Tainted Minds do it again.
4-1 Tainted Minds. And every single time Chiefs get a hold of that ball, there's someone ready for the challenge. CJ sees the open net. He hits the top corner. He's been accurate as hell this season.
The 5th best team in the world. The 5th best team in the world is being challenged here in Game 5 and looks to be in a troubling position as Tainted Minds, number 8, try to triumph over the OCE champion.
I think they have, and that's the question we asked. The OCE shuffle, how does it affect the region? Who comes out on top? And all of a sudden, the team that was behind, the team that formed out of nowhere this season, are coming through and taking that first seed away from the Chiefs.
Tainted Minds have taken the challenge against the Chiefs. They've taken it strong. They've taken every part of wisdom as the Chiefs find the second. But 18 seconds to try and triumph back is a big ask.
They combined the best of Darksided with Express and Shady, and the player from CJ that changed it up, that changed their playstyle into fast, into unpredictable, and those are the plays that are beating out the Chiefs. The new Darksided, the new playstyle.
However, with the Chiefs, I'd say it's not over yet, but 10 seconds remaining for 2
It's
goals.
over.
It's a little bit hard to ask. Now I'll be realistic about it. For the Chiefs, they're being so confident. They have dropped 3 games in total. Make that 4 after this one. They'll drop down to the new OCE champions, to the new best team in league play, Tainted Minds.
Tainted Minds are securing the first spot. As long as they can take down Order, and if you can take down Chiefs, you can take down anyone.
The Chiefs pushed back in a game 5. Never thought I would see the day where Chiefs are second to Tainted Minds. And I have to say, with our very new member on the desk as well, I would have to say, are the Chiefs worse than when you're in the roster?
Well, we never lost to Tainted, but no, that was high-quality gameplay from both teams. I think Tainted Minds really stepped up, really playing well, and I thought Chiefs really didn't look like bad.
I think Chiefs looked worse at the start. They were having issues in defense, and they fixed that up. But then Tainted Minds took it an even step further.
Well, Drip had a really quiet start. He didn't get any goals that first 2 games, which is crazy for Drip.
Oh yeah.
And then he started to step it up. Game 4, Chiefs were so on top of them, let that overtime in, and then Tainted Minds from there just controlled the end part of that series.
Yeah, it's really tough, and it's so difficult for the Chiefs. That is a real heartbreaker for them. They're going to take that loss pretty seriously.
Yeah, they're not going to be happy with that. I know they were feeling good. They were feeling like a really good team. They felt confident. But so did Tainted, and Tainted showed why. Tainted showed up to
They've got to be on top of the world. Coming into the finals,
absolutely.
No one's ever taken down the Chiefs.
Yeah.
The Chiefs have come first in the regionals every single season.
Clean league play all the time. And although, yes, I am right with my prediction out of everyone, and I'm super excited about that, but Tainted, you look like you despise me. For Tainted Minds, I think this is just the beginning. Going into playoffs, there is the real chance that they can secure first seed with this style.
It's a complete open up of the finals, but on the same note, it was a close series still, and Chiefs, I think, will be working incredibly hard to try and take them down.
Chiefs are going to be fired up to beat Tainted in the finals now. I want to talk about the playstyle a little bit.
Yeah.
Express was bringing in really nice bumps to get those really crucial goals. In Game 5 and Game 2, Express just did these really strange bumps. I know Torst wouldn't have been happy with those. They were so weird. But
Why is he bumping me?
But they really opened up the play, and it showed that dark side that bothered Chiefs is still there.
Yeah, and Express and Shady are the 2 highest demos together on any team across the season.
Yep.
And that really came out Game 5, and I felt that was why they were so much more dominant in that game.
Yeah. I think Tainted still have room to improve, though. Shady was very quiet that entire series, up until that hat-trick at the end. He only had 4 shots across 4 games. If they can... We've been talking about this all season, but if they can integrate Shady properly, they'll be even more unstoppable, and Chiefs will have to fight even harder to beat them.
Because we're talking about Express a lot in that series, like the defense as well from Tainted Minds, just on a note of play style, feels like it's improved. And yes, they're not versing some of the lower teams where they can afford to make some mistakes and just push everything onto the offensive. Their defense actually firmed up a lot.
CJ was massive in defense.
Yeah.
CJ lives on the backboard and gets these insane clears.
That was so important as well, because you have Express and Shady down the bottom saving the net.
Yeah.
The CJ's always up there preventing the backboard play.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I've never seen that on a team before, but they do make it work. I do want to point out, though, in the middle of that series, they really weren't using each other in defense. They do this, when they pass out of defense, they hit the ball really high to the corner and then get someone to clear it, but they just completely stopped that, and I think Chiefs held pressure for like an entire game at one point.
Yeah, because they were just hitting it into the corner and there was no one there, and you're like, Chiefs, oh, cool, you're just hitting the ball to me.
But I think bringing it back to the round, I mean, Chiefs 3-2, losing that series is one of the biggest upsets in OC Championship history. I'll even state it on this. Tainted Minds need to beat Order next to obtain that first seed. We're going to have a 5-minute break when we return. That series coming up.